All right, thanks, guys. The T-Wolves take on the Magic. That's going to be a 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Orlando. Magic opened the betting as the 1.5-point favorite in total at 217.5. And since those markets opened this one up, not a whole lot of movement on the total, although we are seeing steady money on Orlando in the early going here. They're now minus 2.5. So once again, Orlando open 1.5 up to minus 2.5. Total open and remains at 217 and a hook. Now, if you like Orlando to get the job done at home, they are 6-3 against the spread in their last 9. They also rank 8th in points allowed in the association. Meanwhile, on the Minnesota side of things, they failed to cover in their last 4 straight. They're also just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10. And they're posting a record of just 8-18 straight up away from home this year. Now, scoring-wise, Minnesota's 9-3 to the over in their last 12 when traveling. Orlando 8-4 to the over in their last dozen themselves. So with all that said and done, I'm going to purchase the 0.5 point, slide it down, and take Orlando minus 2 in the over 217.5 in that matchup there. All right, folks, before we go ahead and move on, I just want to quickly welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for, what day is it? Thursday's NBA, college, and NHL action. But before we go ahead and move into some more of that, I just want to take a quick time out and just remind you to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. That is my website with a documented record of 9-3 in my last 12 plays on that website. That is 75% in my last dozen. You're certainly costing yourself some valuable information each and every day you're not subscribed to that website there. Now, memberships begin at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there as well, including my current record and other categories. So once again, please feel free to just hit that pause button right now. Open up your browser. All you got to do is type in patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take you a couple of seconds. The link is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine and you are watching me right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. With all that said and done, let's go ahead and hop right back into some more lines and personal leans. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got Clippers, Pacers, 7 o'clock tip-off in Indiana. Now, we're seeing a lot of movement on the spread in this one. Obviously, we're seeing crazy line movement in some spots with the whole trade deadline. But anyway, Indiana open minus 2.5. Total open 217 and a hook. And since those markets opened that one up, we've seen a 3-point move when it comes to the number. And Indiana's taken most of the money there. They're now minus 5.5. So once again, the Pacers open 2.5 up to minus 5.5. Total opens and remains at 217 and a hook. Now, Indiana's 3-0 straight up in their last 3, 19-7 straight up at home this season. I understand that Victor Oladipo's out for the season, but regardless, it looks like Indiana has been playing some pretty good basketball in the past week, adapting and overcoming a huge loss there to Oladipo. Now, the Clippers are just 2-3 against the number in their last 5. Gallinari's questionable with a back, and Chandler is out with a quad, the newly acquired Chandler from the Sixers. The Clippers are also ranking 24th in points allowed this season, 24th in defensive rebounding as well. When it comes to the scoring, LA's 90% to the under in their last 10 on the road. Indiana 80% to the under in their last 5. So with all that in mind, I'm going to purchase the 0.5 point, buy it down, and take Indiana minus 5 and the under 217.5 in that matchup there. Next game, Raptors, Hawks, 7:30 tip-off in Atlanta. The Raptors open minus 12, total open 227.5. And once again, this is another one of those situations where we're seeing crazy movement on the number. We're almost seeing a 4-point move on the spread in this one. Toronto's now minus 8.5. Steady and consistent fade of Toronto in the early going here. Total remains at 227 and a hook. So once again, Toronto opened 12, down to -8.5. Total opens and remains at 227 and a hook. Toronto 5-3 against the spread in their last 5. They also rank 4th in road defensive rebounding. Now the Hawks on their side of things, they're just absolutely putrid. And out of 21 games at home, they've only successfully covered the number in 7 of them. They rank 30th in points allowed on their home court. When it comes to scoring, Toronto 7-2 to the under in their last 9. So with all that in mind, I'm going to purchase the half a point, buy it down. As always, take Toronto -8 and the under 227.5 in that matchup there. Next game, Grizzlies Thunder. It's going to be an 8 o'clock tip-off in Oklahoma City. OKC opened -12, total 215.5. And since that one opened up, no real surprises here as we're seeing steady money on OKC. That's going to move that line 2.5 points up to 14.5. So once again, OKC opened 12, up to -14.5. Total open and remains at 215 and a hook. Now Memphis has a slew of guys not playing tonight. We have Marc Gasol, Marc Gasol, Caspi, Temple, Parsons, and Brooks all out for tonight's action. Brooks out for the season, by the way. And then we also have guys that are questionable for tonight. We have Noah, Anderson, and Green all questionable for tonight's action. So we're looking at, 8 guys on the injury report for the Grizz. Memphis is just 9-19 straight up away from home, 11-17 against the number in that same category, and they rank 30th in offensive scoring. Now, total-wise, Memphis is 80% to the under in their last 5. OKC 7th in defending the 3-ball at home. Give me the Thunder -14 after buying the hook, and the under 215.5 in that matchup there. Next game, Lakers Celtics. That's going to be an 8 o'clock tip-off in Beantown. Boston is 22-6 straight up at home this season, 3-1 against the number in their last 4. The Lakers on their side of things, they're just 2-6 straight up in their last 8, 29th in three-point shooting, 30th from the foul line. Now for the Lakers, we have Lonzo Ball out, and Hart is questionable as well. Meanwhile, for the Boston Celtics, Irving and Morris are probable with those leg injuries. Looks like they're going to play tonight, so I would expect at least one of those guys to see some action. But all said and done, no line for this game. There are no lines for this game. Expect those lines to be released at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If I lean towards the side, obviously, I'd be leaning toward the Boston Celtics winning that one outright there. All right, next and final game for the show. It is going to be San Antonio at Portland, 10:30 tip-off in Rip City. The Blazers are -5. Total is 227 and a hook. Portland is 6-2 against the spread in their last 8. They're covering 67% of their games that tipped off at the current number. The Blazers rank 1st in home rebounding, and they're covering 61% of their games when laying the points. San Antonio on their side of things, well, Aldridge and DeRozan are probable for tonight. White questionable with that foot injury. The Spurs have failed to cover in their last 5 straight. They rank 24th in road points allowed and 27th in road defensive field goal percentage. Now, total-wise, Portland's just 28% to the over in their games at the current posted total. Give me the Blazers -5 and the under 227.5 in that matchup there. All right, let's go ahead and slide into some college basketball action. And we're going to start off with Cincinnati at Memphis. That's going to be a 7 o'clock tip-off at Memphis. The Bearcats open the betting as the 4.5-point favorite, and the total at 148. And since that one opened up, we're seeing a steady and consistent fade of Cincinnati when it comes to the spread. We're also seeing movement upward on the total as well. That total moved up to 149 with Cincy now laying 3. So once again, the Bearcats open 4.5 down to -3. Total open 148 up to 149. 57% of the consensus is leaning toward the Bearcats, and 80% of the consensus is shaded toward the under in this matchup here. Now, if you like Memphis at home, you might not be in a bad spot. They're 12-3 straight up on their home court. They're also covering 67% of their games in the friendly confines. Memphis ranks 46th in offensive rebounding and 20th